Peace, what's good? Welcome back to Urban X TV. We're your host. I'm Malcolm. This is the artist formerly known as the Black Dot. We're here with you guys in the building for what do we call these? What do we call these?
Our little pop shop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
pop
call them
ups,
popcast. They're like a
podcast.
pop-up podcast, so
Yeah,
popcast. We need to what do you call that? Copyright that.
yeah,
Popcast.
podcast.
Not exactly a full podcast, but a pop-up cast. Yep.
Yeah. So for the people who were disappointed yesterday, obviously we wanted a show, but we were recovering from the past weekend at the International African Arts Festival.
And please forgive us because it was blazing like slave plantation heat
Don't
for
say that.
4 straight days.
Don't
You know
say
what I
that.
mean? And we were out there in the sun. Like,
Yeah,
like I know I have a newfound respect for my ancestors. Well, the ones who were, I don't want to
yeah,
get into any politically correct stuff, but that heat and I'm still recovering, and it's
yeah,
Tuesday,
yeah,
so definitely by Thursday we'll be back in full blast for a podcast.
yeah. So I wanted to talk about the turning of the tides when it comes to not the red MAGA, which is the Trump supporters, but the blue MAGA, and these are people I call, like, no matter what Biden says or does, they say no matter what, I am sticking with Biden. But it seems like a lot of these people are turning, and then there are people who are doubling and tripling down. So you're seeing these people are crazy on both sides. You see the Trump lovers, they love him no matter what he does. But then these Biden lovers, they just as scary, bro. They just as scary.
Yes. Yes, yes, and it's showing a divide in the country. There's always been a Democrat, Republican, independent divide, so to speak, but the divide is greater and more extreme than ever before. I've never seen anything like this, and I want to know what level of propaganda is being applied here
Yep.
to turn the country into extremist. And when you get extremists in the country, you almost setting the stage for something civil on a
Yes.
whole nother level.
So I made mention that I feel like the extremism started with Obama, and people kind of misunderstood me. They think it was people were extreme under Obama. I'm like, no, it started there. It started with two terms, 8 years of him being in office, pissing off somebody, pissing off another the other side so much that when they got somebody in that who was brash and who was talking, they just kind of went super right. Now he had 4 years. Now you got to think he had 4 years of him being in office, his press conferences, the media propaganda. When it came, every late night comedy show was about Trump, every single one, right? Every
Yes.
commercial, every rapper, every ball player, every documentary was something against Trump. Then you have bots and social media just kind of feeding that, right? So then at the same token, you had another side, that's the Democrats, pissed as well now. Like, now they can't wait to get somebody in, right? They got somebody in, and now it's just like you have two equally crazy sides now who are going at it, who are ignoring everything, who really don't care about the country. They just care about their side. They just care about being right, quote unquote, and nothing to do with the betterment of the country. If it means their side wins, that's all that matters. Both sides are like this, in my opinion, and we're seeing it. Whoopi Goldberg was on The View, and she said something to the effect that Biden could poop in his pants and she still vote for him. Joy Ann Reid said he could be in a coma and she'll still vote for him. And I was like, this is like, what are we doing?
That means we are suspending logic and common sense. We are suspending all of those things and moving on emotion. Let's go back to the Obama piece because it's interesting because the two candidates who were going against each other was a black man and a white woman.
Yes.
right? With
Yes.
Hillary,
Yes.
right?
In the Democratic primaries, yes.
Right. And so that already lends to groundbreaking. Now, what I found interesting was coming into the first 4 years, the propaganda led people into supporting Obama. This was a black man with a white mother, and change is going to come. I found it very ironic, Malcolm, that 4 years later, just 4 years, all of them people turned on Obama.
Hmm.
And now he was a nigga and with a nigga wife, and you know what I'm saying? We got to get him out. We don't even know if he's a citizen. All of the propaganda started 4 years later. It goes to show you how they can move this. And so, like you said, when Trump was presented, when those people who had to tuck their tail between their legs
Yeah.
and just talk under their breath about how bad the country has come when a black man could be the head of office with a black woman, talking under their breath about this, Trump created the antithesis to that. You know what I'm saying? And he just literally said what you were saying under your breath if you were
Yeah.
sort of on that vibe. And he had all of the bullet points aligned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was, we're going to build the wall, we're going to stop this, we're going to do that.
Make America great
And then
again.
the other extreme got a moment to flex their muscle, and he too was going up against a white woman
Yeah.
in Hillary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
initially, she was in the running before he went up. Who did he beat? Biden? He beat Hillary.
He beat Hillary. Yeah.
Right, he beat Hillary. And in beating Hillary, I'm sorry, just representing, that extreme, this became something. But and if he was doing what he said he was going to do, because remember, and I'm not rallying for Trump, he wasn't a politician. He
Yeah.
came in on his business grind, so he wasn't a part of the good old boys that we spoke about. The Bushes for 2 terms, the Clintons for 2 terms, the Obamas for 2 terms, and now they're trying to get Biden in for 2 terms. And so this has
And
been.
Biden is with the Bush. I mean, with the Obamas. So
And by exactly. And so when you start speaking about how long this mindset has been into play, it's a very interesting thing in this country.
yeah.
And what Whoopi is saying is it's not about, we just can't go Republican.
Right.
And my thing is, if you keep doing the same things over and over and over and expecting the different results, that means we are all insane, Malcolm.
Yeah.
And so maybe the political presidential process in itself has to be turned over on itself, because we are running in place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a people, as the so-called African American people in this country whose vote never seems to matter, because if it did, we would see tremendous change in this country.
It's always interesting when we get to these election seasons because I always see the same rhetoric, right? Black women are gonna win this for us, and I hate that rhetoric because it is specifically designed to get us all fighting each other, in my opinion.
Yes,
Right? It is
yes,
specifically designed to go because even when you break down the numbers, like overwhelming majority of black men are voting Democrat. Just like it might be more black women voting Democrat, but it over so for us, like for the little bit of black men who are going the other way, it's non-consequential. It shouldn't be that consequential. So you just are, and there are black pundits, there are black media outlets pushing this narrative, and I feel like it is solely for the to kind of stoke that divide there. You know what I mean? Like I feel
yes.
like it has nothing to do with the actual election, and just to kind of keep y'all arguing. Somebody said on Twitter, all you have to do is put up a post and a stupid ass caption, and it'll get black people fighting each other, and that's true.
It is very true. And remember, this social media thing, the social media construct, is a new construct overall.
Yeah,
So the ability to have to literally walk the streets and kiss babies and shake hands is no longer needed. Now it is all done via social media, but it also gives you an advantage to gauge conversation, like you said, by putting a tidbit out there and the data that comes back. That's why information now is so important. I can put out something and the algorithm is going to tell me how effective this ad was,
Yeah.
how effective this campaign spiel was. And now in real time, I have the information to run with that or remove that. I didn't have to print up 50,000 flyers and actually head to the street and wait 6 months for the results to come back to say, "Ah, man, we dropped the ball." I can get that in instant and real time, and that's what's being used against us more than ever. And this also puts into play the minions,
Yep.
the Democratic minions can now spill whoever. If I got 100,000 followers and I have an agenda to promote that, and you got 600,000 followers and you got an agenda to promote that, we start pooling those resources together and getting real time data on how to manipulate people's mind in a direction that benefits
and
their
and
agenda.
and it's always interesting because these people, it's so many different levels to it, and there are mad games, multiple games played on each level, right? So
Hmm.
the Project 2025 thing, this is somebody who tweeted, this is, I'm gonna read a tweet somebody put up, and it was shocked me because the guy has a, the gay pride flag in the by his name, and usually those are the worst Twitter accounts. I stay away from them because it's always some bull, right? But
Got
this
you.
is what it said. He said, all right, I'm gonna say it. Hashtag Project 2025 is a lucrative fundraising tool for the Democratic and Republican Party. It gets you so scared you donate more money to the Dems, and it gets you ultra right conservatives hyped to think that the GOP will carry this out. In the end, the corporations win. And then he said, in the end, both parties are holding you hostage out of fear. And I'm like, I don't see the
Drop the
logic.
mic. Drop
Drop
the
the mic.
mic.
You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yes.
I don't see
Yes.
the logic. I'm like, facts. Because and
And we
remember when we first talked about Project 2025, I said, yeah, like I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And it just felt like something like super, super, like to get people in line. And it very could be were like real, but it just benefits everybody. It gets you scared because Biden tweeted about it today. He said Google Project 2025. So that's gonna get people scared. Like, oh my God, like we can't let this
uh-huh.
happen. And then the super racists go, oh, we need this to happen. So it's everybody's winning, but the people.
And it goes back to corporations rule everything around me. And so we're beginning to see more and more that this is a corporate takeover. It's a corporate takeover. That's
Yeah,
how you have to see it. You cannot survive without some corporations doing something, controlling something, advocating for something, which means corporations have shareholders, so there's money going to be made, and people that have to be satisfied along those lines, and you just become cannon fodder.
yeah,
Now, the metaphysical, spiritual aspect of all of this is, like I always say, your agreement means something, not your physical vote, because this is a process. It's a game being played, but your agreement in this realm is more important than anything. So they're looking for you to use your brain power to accelerate a result that's wanted for them. And if you're not going to use your own brain, then someone else will use it for you to get you to think that this is going to free you. And I have always been about results. So if I'm doing anything and I go, okay, this is just not working.
yeah,
Why is it not working?
yeah,
And so that applies to my personal life, and it's going to apply to the collective of where I lend my consciousness stream to. So if I'm fighting for reparations, let's just say, then I need to know, okay, I've been fighting for this for 10 years. What steps have we made, or am I just a part of something that's fueling an agenda of something else? Or is there actual results?
yeah,
And we as a people, let's take a school. We've been building a school for 16 years. Why is it taking so long? I've been giving my energy and my money to this. At some point, I have to say, wow, this is just not yielding the results. So, black people in particular, we got to start being, because we're in the quickening. We can no longer use the excuse these things take time, because results are happening around us
Yeah.
at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
So we have to now say, okay, what we voted for so and so. He was in there for 8 years. What were the results? Nothing.
And
Okay,
yo,
so go
and
ahead.
this election is more clear. Like these people, both of them, these dudes have been presidents. We just saw a 4 years
Yes,
with Trump. We just saw we just are going through a 4 years of Biden, right? So even
right.
if these are the candidates, which I don't think they will be, right? I don't. I do think we will get
I'm in
new
agreement
candidates,
with you. Yes.
right? But if those were the choices, it's very like clear. Like we don't need a debate. We saw one. We saw the other. Which one do you prefer?
There you go. If that's going to be, because Sarnetta asked me that question at the International Arts Festival because he interviewed me.
Yeah.
And I made it clear I don't vote for either one, but he said if you had to, so I had to look at the data of both and say, well, I'm going to vote that way
Mhm.
if I had to. But I know my agreement in this is what they're really after. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so I want to be clear on that, that we are sovereign beings who exist anywhere and everywhere. And every situation we are in is because of an agreement subconsciously, consciously, or our superconscious minds, whether we want to understand or believe that or not. Slavery is a choice.
So I like that. Yeah, I like that. I guess. Or
Okay,
one.
now let's move on to another aspect. I don't watch CNN, but I happened to tune in just last night, and they coined a new phrase, which
Mhm.
was double haters. And so they're calling them double haters because people have decided they went to the streets, they're not voting for Biden or Trump.
Yeah.
And this is the first time on this level, it has been clearly people are looking at both candidates and
And
going,
going nah.
nah, I'm
Yeah.
good. And so they've coined the phrase of double haters now. So
You
they're
see
going to
how they can.
introduce that into the lexicon.
Yeah. Yeah. New normal.
Yeah,
The
new normal.
new
And
normal.
so look,
Social distancing.
yes,
Now double haters. I'm like
double
you. These
haters.
people are masterful at that, man. I'm not gonna lie. They're
Very masterful.
masterful.
So look for that to come start coming into the lexicon of the people,
Yeah. On
and
CNN,
you
on CNN, I also saw them do an entire segment. Like they brought in a neuro doctor. No, they brought in a doctor who specializes in Parkinson's disease, and he said it's clear Biden has it. Like it's clear. He said, okay, but what about the stutter that Biden grew up with? He goes, that's not a stutter. That is some of the clear signs, the stiffness, like the monotone voice. He's just breaking it down. I'm like, yo, to see that on CNN shows me that he is no longer in control of the show, that the real Democrat elite are making moves now.
yes, and they again, remember I told you this is about agreements. So you are going to agree with that because what do you see? When you
Right,
see him, he
right,
looked crazy,
right.
right? So this is not something that's contrast to what you already believe. They just need you to agree with it
Yeah.
so that when they bring you in the replacement, you know what I mean? Because there was also rumors that a Parkinson's specialist was on the White House lawn. But
Eight times in the last 8 months.
8 times in the last 8 months. So they want you to see it, but his press secretary denies it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have Parkinson's. He tested for it. This she's very smooth,
Mm.
and no, he didn't. And so they're doing that so that there's plausible deniability
Yep.
to what they're doing. But when they go, it's just beyond our control now. It's so obvious, and now we have to replace it with this that's going to shake up because Trump has not even told you who his running mate is going to
Yeah.
be. And
Yeah.
so he's waiting. So it's a game being played,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you're agreeing when you collectively agree, yeah, Biden needs to go. They're gonna go, okay, well, you made the decision. We
Yeah.
just followed out what
Yeah.
it is that you agreed on. So
Yep.
this is your shit show.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
And yo, I want people to just kind of, when they see politics, when they see these, it's wrestling. Like it's literally wrestling. And the most clear example of that is every 4 years when we have these elections, these debates, they say some really wicked stuff about each other, vile. And then after it's all done, they out of office. Both sides are out of office. They hanging out. They chilling. They families. All their families grow up together. They all go to the same schools, same golf clubs,
Yes,
same country clubs. They all chill out with each other, and you are the only ones fighting. This is what I wanted to say. There's a lot of shows and movies coming out now when it comes like Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, the new Gladiator trailer. I don't know if you saw that. There is a lot of entertainment out that are going to be, I feel like, are going to be discussing politics and what happens to the people under, right?
as a
So,
result.
as a
Yes, yes,
result of these politics, as a result of these leaders getting greedy, as a result of petty squabbles, but the people have to fight these wars, right? The
yes.
people are going hungry because this is a blockade over here. We're not letting the people. So, and then I think more regular people are seeing it's going, yo, that's our life right now. Like we're going through that. Like we have to deal with the brunt of some bullshit that y'all are doing.
It
So,
is predictive programming.
yeah,
Remember, the CIA runs Hollywood. And so, predictive programming, inception, again, to get you to accept something because all is mental,
yeah,
right? You are a physical projection from somewhere else.
yep.
So, they're tapping into your agreement. So, those movies are important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you start finding yourself in the movie, yeah, because we fighting against an evil, this, that. In reality, it's all a shit show, as you
Yeah,
just said. And so we have to be aware, stay in the moment, and participate from a distance. Because I can't give my energy. I told you, I need an investment on my return,
yeah.
a return on my
My,
investment, should
yep,
I say, right?
yep.
ROI, right? So ROI, a return on investment.
That's
You know
yeah,
what I mean,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So when I invest my time, energy into something, I needed a return on that. So I sit back and watch the politics, but I don't participate because I know I am here on a far greater mission than any politician can ever articulate or express.
yeah. And then once you understand um, corporations, stocks and stuff like that, you understand that the news the past 4 years prior to this election happening has been on a downturn. Like all these
Yes,
people, all of their primetime anchors got fired because they didn't have Trump in there to be mad at, to boost up the ratings, to talk about. So now you're seeing all the corporations are winning now. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So interesting stuff. Just watch it, guys. Just watch it. I'm telling you. It's
yes,
like kayfabe in
absolutely.
wrestling. I'm telling y'all, just watch it and
Yep.
you take your emotions out of it, and you're just gonna be like, wow, all right.
Wow.
So that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you agree, disagree, if you hate us, put it in the comments. It's okay.
Yes.
It's it's okay.
We love you all. We love you
Yes.
all.
And we will see you guys on the next one. I'm Malcolm, so artist formerly known as the Black Dot. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. Peace.
Peace.